What is the value of the expression 3 squared plus 66 divided by 2 multiplied by 3? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? This expression is so tricky that many people end up with the wrong answer. Let's dive in and break it down step by step together. To solve this question, many people start by calculating 3 squared first, and instead of the original expression, they rewrite it as 9 plus 66 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. And the next step, they usually perform the addition between 9 and 66 and simplify this expression to 75 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. Then, they proceed by doing the division between 75 and 2, which gives them 37.5 multiplied by 3. And finally, they multiply 37.5 by 3, which ends up with the answer 112.5. Then, without any hesitation, they quickly say that option D is the correct answer to this question. However, this answer is absolutely wrong. Also, some other people when solving this question first go for the expression 3 squared and they simplify to 9 plus 66 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. And the next step, they usually go for the multiplication between 2 and 3 because they think multiplication has priority over division. So, they rewrite this expression as 9 plus 66 divided by 6. Next, they perform the division between 66 and 6 since they believe division has priority over addition. And they rewrite this expression as 9 plus 11, which ultimately gives them the answer 20. And immediately, they conclude that option B is the correct answer to this question. However, it's not the correct answer to this question. Alright, now let me show you how to solve this expression properly. To solve this question, we must follow the PEMDAS rule. We should perform these operations exactly in order from top to bottom, step by step. Alright, as you can see in the image, and this expression, first we have an exponent, then an addition sign, followed by a division, and finally a multiplication. We should start with the exponent, because in this expression, exponent has a higher priority than the other operations. So, this expression simplifies to 9 plus 66 divided by 2 multiplied by 3. And the next step, we need to handle the division and multiplication, since multiplication and division have higher priority than addition. However, it's very important to note that multiplication and division have equal precedence. In this situation, the best thing to do is to start from the rest of the expression and move toward the right, performing division and multiplication in order. So, first we perform the division between 66 and 2, and this expression simplifies to 9 plus 33 multiplied by 3. In the final step, we do the multiplication between 33 and 3, which gives us 9 plus 99. And finally, the value of this expression is equal to 108. That's great. Option C is the correct answer to this question. Alright, now let's solve another tricky math question together. What is the value of the expression 16 divided by 4 multiplied by open parentheses 6 plus 2 close parentheses? Which option do you think is the correct answer to this question? Let's take a closer look and solve it together. And the first step, most people start by solving the expression inside the parentheses and replace it with 16 divided by 4 multiplied by 8. And the next step, they go for the multiplication between 4 and 8 because they think multiplication has priority over division. So, this expression simplifies to 16 divided by 32, which finally gives them the answer 0.5. And immediately, they quickly say that option A is the correct answer to this question. However, that's definitely wrong. As you can see on the screen, in this expression, first we have a division sign, followed by a multiplication sign, and finally parentheses. To solve this question, we need to use the PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS shows us the priority of the order of operations. So, we start with the parentheses first, because it has the highest priority than the other operations. Okay, this expression simplifies to 16 divided by 4 multiplied by 8. Now, it's time to simplify this expression. It's very important to note that in the PEMDAS rule, multiplication and division have exactly the same level of priority. In this case, all we need to do is to start from the left side of the expression and move step by step toward the right. So, first we perform the division between 16 and 4, which simplifies this expression to 4 multiplied by 8. And finally, the value of this expression will be 32. Therefore, option D is the correct answer to this question.